Following the runaway success of Tony Horton's P90X, you had to be huffing lead-based paint fumes to think a sequel would not eventually arrive on the scene. The main reason was kind of obvious. And to Beachbody's credit, they took a little bit of time to refine the recipe. As P90X2 came out in 2011, a good 6 years after the original, which itself was cut loose in 2004. Or, in modern terms, that would be 3 Spider-Men and 4 Batmen. Tony, for his part, took a little time in those years to do some side projects like his loosely produced one-on-one series. But eventually he was going to have to put the foot to the floor and attempt to create another opus. So today I'm breaking down P90X2 for you. By the end of this, you'll know if P90X2 is a worthy blast from the fitness past, is it groundbreaking, overhyped, or just an elaborate way to make you regret buying a stability ball. Let's roll back the clock to 2004. The original P90X dropped and became the one workout to rule them all. Beachbody, the company behind it, was riding high on the success of at-home fitness programs. P90X wasn't just a workout, it was a phenomenon, complete with late-night infomercials and a cult-like following. But in 2011, P90X2 was a different beast. Tony Horton and Beachbody decided to level up, building a program around sports science and performance training. This wasn't about getting ripped anymore, it was about moving like an athlete, or at least so they claimed. There was also more at stake here than just Beachbody's family honor and Tony's paycheck. Beachbody had begun a metamorphosis of sorts, from a giant workout video company fueled by the blood of P90X into a multi-level marketing and supplement company complete with an army of salesmen ironically named coaches. Killer products in the pipeline were critical to keeping the hype going. It should be noted that since the dawn of streaming services and online ordering, those coaches have been wiped out. They are the dodo birds of home fitness, with only their before and after shots as evidence they ever existed. As a side note, I should also mention that as of 2024, Beachbody, now Body, took their MLM model out back and gave it the old Yeller treatment. They run on an affiliate model now, so I guess we'll see how that goes. But like I always say, stay away from multi-level marketing.
And knowing is half the battle.
P90X2 was an ambitious undertaking, probably more than the original since reputation was now on the line. At launch, it was available on DVDs. If you somehow still have a DVD player, you can relive the magic. Of course, it's now streaming on Beachbody On Demand, so the option to pay endless subscription fees and never truly owning your content is always there.
Oh, joy!
P90X2 has 3 phases in the program, and we start with Phase 1, Foundation. This phase focuses on core strength and stability. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. It's basically a crash course in humiliation, so keep your eye out for that stability ball. Foundation starts with X2 Core. It's the foam roller, stability, and medicine balls in a core-crushing 1 hour. The tip of the day says it all. Time, patience, and practice. I was a clumsy, drunken bear doing this for the first time, and so will you be. This is not just core and balance, it's explosive core and balance. There's also a major benefit that will be gained from this, and that's posture. A real plus for many of us who work at a desk job. Shaun T's Asylum might be harder, but that line of thinking is missing the point. This is part of a greater picture, and trust me, you'll need something left over for X2 Total Body in a couple days. This is not max interval training either, but rather plyo strength training by doing 4 sets of 5 moves. For example, you will use the medicine ball on more than one occasion. I've done Insanity and Asylum, and while those programs are indeed more plyo focused, I sweated just as much here, but for different reasons. The stretch at the end of this workout is also solid gold as it uses bands to get those tight spots. Neuro-integrated flexibility, as Tony calls it. If you have tight IT bands like I do, then this is your cure. Makes me excited for tomorrow, which will feature... If I were to grade recovery workouts out of 10, I would give this a 50. Nothing out there exists like this that I know of. Your main weapon of mass reconstruction will be the foam roller. I discovered the foam roller due to myself having a lower back that was made in China. So when I found out Tony was adding it to the X2, I sang through the streets and danced with the confused hobos. Nothing crushes, massages, and repairs your sore body quite like this seemingly innocent piece of equipment. Tony, however, makes use of the rumble roller, a genetic cross between a traditional foam roller and a 2x4 with nails. This one begins where X2 core leaves off. It's chest presses on balls, balance curls on balls, curls in half chair pose. This is working on all the weaknesses. This will absolutely make one more durable when going into the second phase. An added bonus in some of the warm-ups thus far is that it takes time to give you a little bit of foam roller work. The roller is not necessarily used the same every time you use it, and Tony expects you not to follow verbatim during the few minutes that you get to use it to your advantage. It should be noted that this is nothing like Total Body and P90X Plus. It is a super concentrated core workout, not the old school muscle isolation. Yes, you will do curls, push-ups, and chin-ups, but always while using multiple muscle groups. And oh yeah, Carter should shoot his barber. Twice. It's 20 times for each move as opposed to 25 times for the original Ab Ripper X, but if you think you're going to get an easier go at it, you are in for a swift kick in the pants with a frozen boot. There's nothing recycled here as all the moves are fresh. There's more focus on the ab, core, and obliques instead of hip flexors, and that's what makes this 17 minutes a more effective use of time. The crazy thing is that these moves look rather simple, but will beat you like a Detroit cop. In fact, I think the Phelan twist would have made me cry if I had tear ducts. It probably goes without saying that most of us have let Yoga X collect dust due to its 90-minute runtime. Here, at least, Tony shaves nearly half an hour off. The moves are broken down into a warm-up, vinyasas, ab work, and a final stretch. The vinyasas have more variety and are less repetitive and flow much better than Yoga X. Some of the super advanced move by the kids, however, are just plain out of this world. And oh yeah, there's only one Om at the end. Now that's time management. Once again, it's core part 3. You'd think Tony is trying to get a message across that core strength is important before you continue to phase 2, and believe me, that's because it is. The warm-up is similar to the other core workouts, and of course, Stability Ball is back. The goal is to make you a stable foundation while doing power moves with either weights or your own body mass. Every push-up involves attempting to use medicine or stability balls for an added level of difficulty. Some are fairly straightforward. Others, like the impossible possible push-up, are simply there to make me feel like a clumsy oaf. The chin-ups are also different than the first chest and back, but shouldn't pose too much of a problem adjusting to. And like the original, it alternates between push-ups and pull-ups for a total of 21 moves. But is it tougher? Yes and no. I mean, P90X chest and back still makes me practically want to puke, but that's because I can physically do the moves and thus I keep going. Here I spent a lot of time correcting my balance and, well, falling down. However, once balance is gained, then this will make anyone want to barf out their gallbladder. So give it a little time and follow the tip of the day. Modify to finish. The kids are good-natured, but I was worried Kelly was destined to be the next look at me, I'm lifting featherweights and grunting Katie of P90X back and biceps. Fortunately, humanity is safe, as my concerns were unfounded. It's old school pumping meets newfangled core, and in doing so, will connect all the muscles you've probably spent a lot of time simply isolating in the past. It's 3 rounds of 7 moves, and all of them involve standing on one leg or using our old friend. What will rock your world are the crazy 8 bicep curls that will give you an out-of-this-world pump while making you scream like Keith Richards confronted with an empty minibar. A word of caution here, get in position for your tricep pulls carefully on that stability ball. Dang near broke Tony's #1 rule.
Don't smash your face, okay?
Tony's goal here is simple, to destroy us. 2 rounds of repeating 10 moves is the name of the game. Where the difference lies between this and P90X legs and back is the use of weights, or lack thereof. This should probably be thought of as pull-ups and plyo. The focus on plyo over weight training in this workout might lead one to believe P90X2 has neglected a vital part of training. And you might think that if you stopped here and did not progress to phase 3 performance, which will, when we get there, trash your legs with post-activation potentiation. But we're not there yet. X2 had the option for 2 bonus workouts, and this was one of them. This is meant to be the new back and biceps, but it's grown to become so much more than its predecessor. It's 23 unique moves alternating between pull-ups and curls until you puke. The curls are made more creative with the addition of balls for some balance and core work. The pull-ups are nastier as they involve a lot less kipping than we might have allowed ourselves to get away with in the past. X2 chest, shoulders, and triceps has 11 moves repeated for 2 rounds, and much like the other strength workouts, it incorporates balance and core to make it more effective. It's certainly well-rounded, and I always enjoy any workout that has my boy, Bobby Stevenson, in it, just because that guy brings a fun yet serious mood, unlike, say, Phil, the frozen king of the Winterlands. In comparison to the original P90X, X2's version of chest, shoulders, and triceps seems to assault the shoulders more, while P90X will probably trash your chest more. If you can get through this phase without swearing at Tony Horton, congratulations, you're a liar. Phase 3, Performance, is the final boss. Here's where post-activation potentiation comes in. In layman's term, it's pairing heavy weights with explosive moves. In practical terms, it's misery with a sciencey name. PAP lower is the kickoff. This workout was like being mauled by a grizzly after giving her cubs a slap in their cute little faces. I would advise not planning any running, walking, heck, even standing up the day after doing this for the first time. It's weights followed by 2 plyo moves with an isometric hold to cap off each set, and yeah, it hurts as much as it sounds. Done right, your legs will have nothing left in the tank after this, but that's not the worst of it. In Phase 3, you don't do this once a week. You do it twice. If you survive, you'll be stronger, faster, and maybe slightly traumatized.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
If you're following the program to the letter, then you're going to be doing this the day after PAP lower, and that means from the waist down, you'll be an invalid for the first few times you do this. And then, oh joy, and then you'll be one from the waist up until your body realizes what you're doing to it. This routine moves fast like one would expect from true circuit training, which means your heart rate will go up to match. This is a true athletic style upper body workout that, like PAP lower, has 2 rounds of 4 moves, each done 4 times. Oh, and that's with no breaks. The first round moves are resistance plyo iso iso. The second round is resistance plyo resistance iso. And like your legs, you will be getting trashed all over. You may not want to skip the recovery drink after this, just saying. Did I mention twice a week as well? Yeah, have fun. P90X2 stands as quite possibly the premier home fitness solution of our time. Like the original P90X, Tony found a way to accomplish something that nobody thought was possible. To create a program that was difficult, agonizing, and authentic. Nothing, and I mean nothing, touches this program in terms of versatility in attacking your total body. P90X2 was indeed ambitious. But was it too ambitious? Well, maybe. It didn't reach the cultural heights of the original, but it did find its audience, fitness masochists and athletes looking for an edge. So when X2 came on the scene, Beachbody was doing its proper best to make as much bank as possible. So, should you try P90X2? Well, that really depends. If you're a fitness veteran looking to shake up your routine, this might be the challenge you need. But if you're a beginner or just looking to get in shape without being bushwhacked by a stability ball, I think it might be best if you start elsewhere. It's effective, no doubt about it, but it's not for everyone. Approach it with caution and maybe a little bit of Advil. So what's your P90X2 story? Love it? Hate it? We're still trying to survive Phase 1 over a decade later. Does Lego Batman qualify as a 5th Batman movie? Drop a comment below, and I would always ask you to like or subscribe this video, and I will see you next time with P90X3.